What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only SPY, the QQQ, and many other tickers. Before I break anything down, let me just mention a couple of things real quick. Firstly, I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice, and don't forget about the Webull link. The offer ends very soon. Deposit any amount of money, and you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, and it could be worth up to $3,000. Offer ends tomorrow, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, when it comes to the markets, we're looking very hot right now. The market's continuing to pump, and there so far is no sign of major weakness. The odds are greatly favoring more upside. Now, looking at some data, let me just remind you guys, expect more volatility at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. We have consumer confidence coming out. Then at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index. So lots of data is coming out at 10 and 10:30 a.m. Expect there to be more volatility for the markets because of this. The Asian markets were relatively weak. They didn't really do anything too big. But the US markets are still on fire thanks to the debt ceiling potential liftoff. That's once again looking strong. There's no confirmation of us getting a rug pull yet. And this is once again favoring the bulls. Now, when it comes to the news that came out, we're seeing the Nvda pump. Elon Musk also said some bullish things about Tesla, potentially meeting and opening to expanding in China and going over there as well. So Tesla pumping could also help the market, Aapl pumping too, Nvda pumping too. All of these things are continuing to help the markets. Now for SPY, I told you major resistance was around 421. Break and hold 421, and the odds favor this thing continuing to push up quite nicely. We're currently at 422.5, fighting some resistance there as well. Now, the point I'm trying to make is, as long as we hold above 421, there's a good chance we're going to make our way all the way up to about the 425 to 426 area, closer to 426 probably, because the market's looking strong. The MACD is looking relatively strong, but it is weakening just a little bit right now as we get closer to open. We are overbought on the RSI. Okay, so here's what you're going to watch for. If we break down, okay, and we break below 421, we're going to make our way all the way down to 420. If that fails, then 418 is going to come. That's what the bearish case is going to be, and those are some very important supports to watch for. If we're bullish, we're going to be watching a little bit of resistance around 422.5 to about 423, just a little bit, but as long as we hold above 421, there's a good chance, okay, that we're going to fly all the way up to 425 to 426. That's the next major resistance. Resistance around like the 422.5 area is not very strong, not as strong as like 426 to 425. And I think the odds would still greatly favor a push all the way up to 425 plus. As long as we hold above 421, that still is on the cards. That's what I'm seeing. The odds are favoring upside as the market still has a wide open MECD. RSI is a little overbought, but once again, there's no confirmation of us dropping. Just watch those levels carefully. And once again, the odds are favoring a better form of price action in favor of the bulls. For Tesla, as long as we hold above 198 to 200, this thing has a good chance of retesting 205 to 207. We're currently at about 200.45, but we need the confirmation once we open. We need to see Tesla hold above 200. If it holds quite nicely, it's going to fly to 205 to 207. The MACD is wide open. Tesla's looking relatively strong, so the odds greatly favor that. But if we're bearish, here's what you have to watch for. 198 to 200 support. Got to hold that. If it fails there, it's going to make its way down to 195 and then potentially the gap fill area around like 193. But for now, the odds greatly favor this thing trying to push into the 200s. Tesla's looking relatively strong. There's no confirmation of major downside, and it's looking quite nice. For the QQQ, this thing needs to hold around this 350 plus area. We need to see it hold that. If it fails to hold major support at around 350, it's going to make its way down to about 349 for the gap fill. Then we have 345 coming next if that fails. Now, those are some major supports. I'm just noting them. The resistance that's going to be strong is going to be 355, followed by us getting closer to like 357.5 to 360. For now, it's holding up very nicely, okay? The MACD is a little open. It is close. It is weakening just a little bit, but the RSI is still very strong. The odds favor this thing trying to continue to push right now. It's more likely that's going to happen as long as support holds. As long as it holds above 350, we could see this thing retest 355. The odds favor that. It's looking more strong than weak, but just make sure you are prepared just in case. Now, what else is good for the markets is Apple's on fire. It's up 1.27%, fighting the 177 zone. I was telling you guys about 177 if we broke above 175, and that's like the 177.5 around that area. We're currently at 177.66. Hold above 177.5. Aapl has the potential to go all the way up to 178 and 180. As long as we break 180, that's very possible. And right now, we're getting very close to doing so. Okay, if we're bearish on Aapl, you got to watch 175. If that fails, we could get closer to 170. But for now, it's holding nicely, and the odds greatly favor it getting closer to 178 to 180. Okay, MACD is very open. You know, it is a little overbought, but it's holding up quite nicely. Nvda is pumping very hard. If Nvda keeps going, we're going to be fighting 410. Break 410, we're going to get closer to 420, in my opinion, over the next couple of days. 420 could come if it keeps pumping like this. It's very overbought, though, so be careful. But it doesn't really matter too much in the video. Sometimes it just keeps going. The odds greatly favor this looking at the MACD. If it breaks below 400, it's going to make its way all the way down to about 390 flat. But right now, Nvda is looking very strong. That's good for the markets. All right, anyways, I want to make this nice and quick. Thank you all for listening. Get ready. Be open-minded by watching both support and resistance, but just remember the levels I mentioned, because it's very important to look at them. Look for confirmation first. But for now, like I said, at the time I'm recording this in the pre-market, market's looking strong. Don't forget there's going to be an increase in volatility between 10 o'clock a.m. and 10:30 a.m. And overall, the market looks strong. It's still favoring the bulls. All right, guys, don't forget about the Webull link. The offer ends very soon. Deposit any amount of money, and you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. Thank you for listening. Sorry for talking a little bit fast. I want the best for all of you, and get ready. Market to the moon, and peace out.